Hello.
Hi Jo. So you're not just a member of staff at Derby, you're also mum to an 18-year-old son.
Yes.
What have you discovered about the process of applying to university?
I've actually found it really enjoyable. It's been quite an emotional time, quite a mixture of emotions, but on the whole it's very exciting. I feel very proud and excited about what his future holds. I'm also a bit anxious and a bit apprehensive, if I'm being honest. You know, it is a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but it's been very enjoyable.
So, as you said, it can be quite a daunting experience for both parents and children.
Yeah.
And obviously you work in university, so you think you should know it all, but is there anything that you've been surprised by, any advice that you can give to other parents that people might not know about?
Yeah, it is worth taking the time to do plenty of research, actually. Obviously, you know, your son or daughter will know what course they want to do, but there's so much more to a choice of university than just that. So it's important to take some time to do some research. There's loads of information online. The UCAS website's really helpful. There's lots of other websites like the Complete University Guide or What Uni. And also there's some Facebook groups. They've been really useful over the last few months with other parents talking about their experiences and maybe asking questions that I hadn't thought of yet. So that's been a good source of information.
And of course, as we're here today, open days are a brilliant way of finding out what universities are like. How have you and your son approached this part of the process?
We narrowed down a number of universities that he was interested in, and then we had a look at when their open days were and see what fits in really with the rest of other things that's going on. Obviously, there's football matches and all sorts to fit around, and then sort of decided whether we were going to get the train, decided whether we were going to drive, looked at what else we could do in the city on those days. Again, it's just been a really enjoyable experience. Some quality time together and having a good look round. Maybe as a parent, you ask the questions that you know your son or daughter wants to ask, but they're too shy to do so or haven't got round to it. It's been really interesting. It's a good way to see different cities as well.
Yeah. And how involved do you think parents should be in the application process?
I think you have to find the right balance. It's quite easy to take over, and you've really got to find that balance of letting them do the legwork, but also being there as a support and as a guidance. It's very much it's got to be their decision at the end of the day. It's their choice, not yours. But I think as much support as you can give them to sort of gently nudge them along that journey is really important.
And is there anything that you feel students should be asking their parents for particular help with or advice on?
I think it's just good to keep that conversation going. Your parent may have been to university themselves. I went to university, so ask your parents about what it was that they were looking for university. Ask them about the city. Have they ever been to that city before? What's it like? And ask them about their career experience as well. How did you get to do what you're doing now? This kind of experience prompts those kinds of conversations, which is really nice. So pick our brains. We were young once. we have been on this journey ourselves, or some of us have. So use us as a source of information and resource.
Yep. That's some really good advice there, Jo. Thank you very much, and good luck to you and your son for the rest of the process.
Thank you.
Thanks.